Have you ever made a decision that felt completely right in the moment, only to regret it later? Maybe you bought something impulsively only to realize you didn't need it. Maybe you said something in an argument and wished you could take it back. What if I told you this isn't random, that your brain is designed to trick you into thinking you're making logical choices, when in reality, you're not? This happens because of the battle between two systems of thinking, System 1 and System 2. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain lies to you and how you can stop falling for mental traps that lead to bad decisions. Your brain has two ways of processing information. System 1, fast, emotional, automatic, reacts instantly, like catching a ball, recognizing a face, or hitting the brakes in traffic. Helps us make quick judgments, but often jumps to conclusions without checking facts. System 2, slow, logical, effortful, engages when solving a problem, learning a new skill, or making a complex decision. Requires focus and energy, so your brain avoids using it unless absolutely necessary. Here's the problem. We spend most of our lives in System 1. It's fast and effortless, but also unreliable when making important decisions. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Imagine you're driving home. Your GPS suggests a shortcut that looks like a faster route. Without thinking twice, you take the turn. A few minutes later, you're stuck in traffic, realizing you would have been better off staying on your original route. Why did you trust the shortcut so easily? Because System 1 took over. It made a quick decision based on a simple pattern. Shortcut equal faster. No analysis, no questioning. But if System 2 had engaged, you would have thought, is this actually faster? Should I check for traffic first? But System 2 is lazy. It didn't step in. So you went with your gut instinct and it backfired. Now let's see if your brain tricks you in another way. Let's test your thinking right now. A bat and a ball together cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Did you instantly think 10 cents? That's wrong. The correct answer is 5 cents. Your System 1 saw the pattern and jumped to an easy but incorrect conclusion. If System 2 had engaged, you would have paused, checked the math, and realized, if the ball was 10 cents and the bat is $1 more, the bat would be $1.10, totaling $1.20, not $1.10. The correct answer? The ball costs 5 cents, and the bat costs $1.05. Now this is just a simple math trick, but what if I told you this same mistake happens in real life? Every single day? Because your brain isn't just tricking you in riddles, it's also tricking you into believing false information, making irrational decisions, and falling into mental biases. These thinking shortcuts are called cognitive biases, and they shape how we see reality. Here are 3 big ones. Confirmation bias. Seeing what you want to see. Your brain only pays attention to information that confirms your beliefs. If you believe a certain diet works, you'll only focus on success stories, ignoring failures. If you think someone dislikes you, you'll interpret their neutral actions as rude. Instead of questioning yourself, your brain filters reality to protect your ego. The availability heuristic bias, overestimating what stands out. If something is easy to remember, you assume it happens more often than it actually does. Example, people fear plane crashes but not car accidents, even though car accidents are far more common. Your brain trusts memory over logic, leading to irrational fears. Overconfidence bias, trusting yourself too much. You think you know more than you actually do. Most students overestimate how well they'll do on a test. Most drivers think they're above average. Statistically impossible. This leads to risky choices, ignoring expert advice and not fact-checking. But biases don't just shape our thoughts, they control our actions too. Think about the lottery. Millions of people buy tickets, convinced they have a real shot at winning. But the odds of winning the jackpot? 1 in 300 million. You're more likely to be struck by lightning twice. So why do people still play? Because of the availability heuristic. They see one person winning on TV and think, if they won, maybe I can too. But what System 1 doesn't see is the millions of people who lost. It's the illusion of winning, even though math proves otherwise. And this doesn't just apply to lotteries. This is why people keep gambling. chasing get-rich-quick schemes and making bad investments, because System 1 loves the fantasy, and the only way to fight back is to think slower. So if our brain is constantly lying to us, how do we fight back? How do we stop falling for mental traps, making irrational choices, and believing false information? The answer is simple but difficult. Train yourself to think slower. Before making an important decision, pause. Ask yourself, am I thinking emotionally or am I thinking logically? Do I actually have enough information or am I just assuming? If I had to prove this belief in court, what real evidence would I show? Use the 10-second rule. When your brain jumps to a conclusion, stop and ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? What would System 2 say about this? Just 10 extra seconds of thinking can stop you from making a costly mistake. Surround yourself with different opinions. If you only listen to people who agree with you, you're feeding confirmation bias. Instead, expose yourself to different perspectives, even if they challenge your beliefs. Think in probabilities, not feelings. Instead of saying, I feel like this is true, start asking, what are the actual chances? This forces System 2 to take control instead of relying on gut instinct. Kahneman's research teaches us one thing: we are not as rational as we believe. Our minds are full of shortcuts that save time, but at the cost of accuracy. But now that you understand how your brain tricks you, you can start taking back control. The next time your brain gives you an instant answer, don't trust it right away. Question it, challenge it, because if you don't, you'll keep falling for the same mistakes over and over again. Now, tell me in the comments, have you ever realized your brain tricked you? Let's talk about it. And if you want to train your mind to think better, make sure you're subscribed, because the next video will change the way you see the world.